All right. Hi, everyone. It is me again, Shani, Manager of Strategic Partners over here at Octopost. I want to thank you all so much for joining me in our 11th and final episode of our From the Expert series for 2020. We will be continuing this in 2021, but we're wrapping up the year, this crazy year. So last episode of 2020. And joining me today are Colin Day, our Managing Director in EMEA over here at Octopost. And we have a very special guest. We have Shannon Seasteed with us. Shannon is the Senior Vice President of Corporate Marketing and Communications over at OSG. Hey guys, thanks so much for joining.
Thanks for having us, Shani.
Today's conversation, just like I said, we're just going to be wrapping up this crazy year that we've all been through, hearing a little bit on the marketing side, on the sales side, just the pains and gains of the past year, and more importantly, what we can look forward to in 2021, starting on a fresh new slate. So I do just want to remind everyone you are on mute. If you have any questions at all, there's a Q&A box, there's a chat box. Feel free to drop your questions in there, and we will definitely have time at the end of the webinar to address them. So without further ado, and I do see some more people rolling in, but this is recorded, so we'll go ahead and send everything afterwards. Let's go ahead and get started. And Colin, let's jumpstart with you. What was... Wonderful. This is, I think, going to just set the tone for, again, we'll take it from the start of this wacky year all the way down to the end. What was the biggest impact COVID had on your 2020 plans?
Well, I guess, if we think of when COVID really started to take bite, right? It's like here in the UK anyway, it was around the week of the 16th of March. And that date,
give or take.
No, I can be very specific. It was the 16th of March, and I'll tell you why. That was my first day at Octopost, right? So my first day as the managing director of Octopost Business for EMEA and APAC, and my very first job was to close the London office down and send everyone home. So I remember that day very well, Shani, because there are people that work for me in the London office that I've never met in person. Right. It's like, what's COVID done? It's really reshaped the business a little bit, right? It's like, or certainly reshaped, business culture. Before COVID, it's like, it was very much, we were like most other organizations, right? Work from office mentalities, like, in the office, sit at your desk, do your jobs, like, go home, come back, so like rinse and repeat. When some form of normality comes back, will we still require offices full time? Will we still want people in the office full time? I don't know. It's like we as an organisation now are a lot more relaxed, chillaxed about like what people want to do from their from their working perspective on whether they want to come back to the office full time, part time, or what. So that's certainly one big change for us. Mm-hmm. Another change is, I guess, us sitting here today, right? It's like, the from a sales and marketing perspective, the assets that we use in order to capture the attention of the target addressable market that we're going after, and have some of those conversations or the assets that we use to engage people have somewhat shifted over the last 6 to 9 months as well, right? It's like you said, this is webinar number 11 for you.
Yeah.
If you went back,
ask me how many I did before.
Right. If you went back pre-March, right? How many did you do? Like in the prior 9 months? None.
In the 4 years I was at Octopost, 1.
All right. So you've had to hone a whole new set of skills.
Definitely.
Right. It's like and then if you look at some of the other things that we do a regular podcast, right? It's like Radically Transparent. It's like I think it's season 3. We've done like several different themes over the last 9 months. It's now hosted by our colleague Jen Gutman. That's something very new to us as well, right? Something definitely. That we started in March. So there's just 3 little things, right? One is, hey, I had to shut the office, and Valerie, like if you're listening, like I will meet you one day in person. But It's like, there's just three things for you, Shani. Hopefully that helps set the scene.
Absolutely. I think those were really impactful things, and I think we can all relate to them on many different levels. Shannon, what about you? I know that you guys had some big plans in terms of rebranding and things like that, but did COVID influence that or have any kind of impact on that amongst other things?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think, COVID just kind of came in this day-to-day world. We're all just moving along so nicely. And like Colin said, it was like one day and everything changed.
Yeah.
In the US, that day was St. Patrick's Day. So I remember it really well too. But yeah, we had so much going on. I think from our perspective, from OSG's perspective, what it did besides take a look at how we were working and everything it just kind of gave us this really clear laser focus on what we needed to focus on, a lot of the noise, because there was just we were so disrupted from our day-to-day lives that it was kind of like what's important and what's critical. And we knew right away, the things that we needed to focus on were our employees. We have operations facilities across the globe. That's because we print transactional documents. So when we had essential employees in place, the whole change in work and making sure that our employees were safe and taken care of, and that we were really following all the protocols to take care of them. That was probably one of the biggest shifts in our company and a huge learning experience for everybody. And we continue to learn through it. And I think that's something that we'll continue to bring into 2021 and beyond, all of those, protocols and procedures and concern on safety. And the other end of it, yeah, absolutely. It really, from a customer perspective, we really need to focus on them. Like everything turned to our employees or our customers.
Definitely.
Are our employees happy and safe, and are we meeting our customers' needs? So we had marketing goals and things that we had a rebrand we were going to do, but we put that on hold for a couple of months, and we shifted our focus to make sure that we were able to meet those demands. And it gave us a time to kind of sit one-on-one with our customers and talk with them and really understand what their concerns were. And it really pushed forth like our digital strategy. It just accelerated everything. I just feel like 2020 was all about acceleration and just kind of catching up with where we should have been. And it pushed forward in so many different ways for us.
It was the digital transformation just forced upon us.
Absolutely. It was always like a nice to have, and we had plans and we were working along, a structured timeline, and 2020 came in and said, no, we're doing this now, and everybody's on board, whether you want to be or not.
Definitely.
Shannon, that digital transformation that you went through, how long did you think that would normally have would have taken you, right? It's like, what were you planning for? Because I know you were planning for some of it anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like we're a digitally focused company, and part of our new brand when we were getting to roll it out was literally customer engagement through digital transformation. So we were riding that wave, but we probably shortened our timeline by a good 18 months. You know what I mean? Wow. There was just this really concentrated effort. We re-looked at everything we were doing. We looked at our products. We re-looked at our operations, operations, took a fresh look at our product innovation and how do we accelerate what we're doing today? What's really important? What were nice to haves before and really fell along the product, roadmap, and what do we need to look at scale to really meet the demands of today, because it happens so quickly. So yeah, it's a great question, but I definitely think it was probably accelerated by a good 18 months.
Wow. That's incredible. And I think, like you said, it was about putting employees and customers first, which it's always been about that. But I think there was such an emphasis on, we're literally all in this boat. Everyone worldwide is in one big boat together. And I think there was a lot of camaraderie, and I think there was a lot of understanding and a lot of, I don't want to say leniency, but I think there was just a lot of mutual understanding and people wanting to help one another a little bit more, get settled in, get back on track, get moving in the right direction. And I think just a solid camaraderie amongst really everyone. I think it's one of these things that it was such a unique experience for the whole world to have together and to go through together that, we could all relate, right? We all get on the phone and the first thing, it's not just a how are you, because that's what you're supposed to ask. It's a genuine, how are you doing? You know, how can I help? What can I do for you?
Actually, I think it
And I love
starts off
that.
by, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
After we can hear one another.
Right. I mean that's got to be the phrase. That's got to be the phrase, right, of 2020 is, can you hear me?
That was good, Colin.
Yeah.
You were quick on that one.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. Followed closely by, can you see me? Right.
Can you see me? That was good. I like that.
I'm having technical difficulties today. Sorry.
My home internet, it's swamped.
The other thing as well, right, Shani, is you know, what's been the biggest impact? It's probably been my wardrobe as well. So like personally,
Definitely.
You know, I very much like a suit and a tie, as you know. It's like but I don't think I've actually put the bottom half of my suit on for the last 9 months. Right, it's like you know, I've got a nice shirt on today, no tie. I've dropped the tie. I've gone to like business casual, as you told me to. Yeah, but you know, I quite often wear my suit jacket with my jeans or whatever other, like, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I think we all do. You're dressing for comfort. First of all, you're not leaving your desk. That's kind of the other thing. I think because you know, work is you know, it's so accelerated that we are at our desks a little more, and you want to be more comfortable. And I think you're right.
I was at the office the other day and I was like, it's weird to work 9 hours in shoes.
Oh, shoes. Oh my God.
Remember shoes?
As I sit here with my slippers on, no.
I was like, my feet, they just feel so heavy. What do I do with that?
I've thought about pants and skirts and dresses, but I haven't even thought
shoes. I'm telling you, it's going to be weird. I would start practicing now, just like once a week, put on a pair of shoes and sit with them for a couple of hours.
Hopefully that's not the biggest takeaway that people take from this webinar.
Right?
Otherwise, I think they might be highly disappointed. Yeah.
Or will they be like, thank you so much for the tip about practicing wearing shoes again.
I need to start wearing shoes every day at home now.
Colin, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Okay. I'm not answering questions about shoes. I'm sorry.
Along with shoes, what were some of the changes that you implemented in order to be able to adapt? Sorry, looks the same. Colin, what about you?
Yeah, no problem. So, look, some of the, from a sales perspective, right here at Octopost. Yeah, so you know, team went home. It's like you know, March 16th. You know, we invest a lot of time and energy as marketers and as sales professionals, right, building up the database of the target addressable market, right, the companies that we're going after, the individuals within inside those companies. And come March the 16th, it's like you know, we were used to calling people on the phone, right? It's like we were used to calling them in their office, and all of a sudden it's like everyone's gone rushing home. It's like you know, companies haven't implemented at that point in time, some still haven't, a redirect of office numbers to laptops or to home numbers or mobiles, etc. So the way that the sales team were having to connect with their clients and prospects was starting to differ as well, Shani, right? So you know, in the early days, telephone was a no-go. Right, and you know, emails, like you know, you just became a noise, in someone's inbox, right? So the teams like really redirected a lot of their efforts to social channels and found people on LinkedIn or on Twitter and started a direct conversation with them that way. You know, we've sold a number of deals this year just by chatting to the clients directly over LinkedIn, because yeah, they just can't see our emails in their inbox and don't want to give us their personal telephone numbers for obvious reasons.
Yeah, so what might have been more of a brand awareness strategy, we actually implemented a proper social selling strategy and really just being able to communicate in the best way possible, without causing too much background noise, without being too invasive.
Yeah, I think 2020 is like you know, really saw social come into its own, right? It's like from a social selling strategy perspective, you know, more and more organizations taking employee advocacy solutions in order to help, support those drives and those initiatives. I mean, I know, Shannon, I know you guys did exactly that, during 2020 as well, right?
That is exactly what we did. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we became customers of Octopost. I think, overall crisis just, breeds resourcefulness, and what everybody had to do is kind of take a deep dive and really understand, what are we going to focus on? And from our perspective, we focused on new technologies and new ways to connect, and we had to implement those things like really quickly. So yeah, we looked at our social outreach. Knew that's how we were going to reach people, and we brought on you guys, and that's been extremely helpful in helping us really connect to the right people at the right time. Amped up really like our LinkedIn groups, and really worked hard to communicate through that channel, giving everybody the opportunity to communicate at their pace, but also putting content out in a place where we could really meet when there's no opportunity for us to go to trade shows and stuff like that. Along from a marketing side, the same thing. Here we are at webinars, and we've definitely kicked up our webinar outreach, and it's been a new experience for us too. As I was saying, we've been behind the camera a lot on the webinars, but we've just had to be really resourceful and figure out, how do we connect in this new age? And I think we've been really successful, and it's been fun. We've done some great stuff. And I think we've established and maintained the same connectedness we've had with our customers, but just in a different way.
Yeah, different medium, different channel, right?
Yeah.
I found I am in the partner space usually, right? Webinars is a nice little side gig I picked up along the way. But I remember when we would sign new partners, and when, a new contact at a partner would join, we would send swag, right? We would send some little octies. We would send some, just a little thanks and, welcome to the Octopost family. I know our sales team did that as well. And I found that was also just a really weird thing suddenly. And I was like, do I ask for their home address to send this? Am I crossing a line? Where is that line now? What is it? How personal can I get?
Yeah. I mean, and our cats and dogs are here, and babies on our laps. Like the whole world is blurred. Like, how do we talk? And it has been fascinating.
But we survived and we thrived, I think. A lot of companies that were able to ride that digital wave and be able to kind of roll with the punches of 2020, they figured it out, and we're still standing today and successful today. And I think that was a big thing to prove also, is that the work can get done in a digital world. We can do things remotely as well, and when the job needs to get done, the job's going to get done. I never thought that I'd be able. Oh, sorry, Colin.
Oh, I was say, it's like, I mean, one of the other things that we've also done, right, Shani, is if you look at our sales organization across the course of 2020, right, we've gone up by 400%, right? So we've totally doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down on sales staff, right?
Yeah.
And we sure at the beginning maybe we took the wind out of the sails for the first month to see how things were going to pan out. But once we saw the healthy order book there, it's like we literally went hell for leather and hired as say it's like sellers across the United States, as well as in my team here in the UK. So we've totally grown the business from a sales perspective. With that brings supplementary requirements, because you get more customers, you need more customer success managers. So we're adding additional headcount there as we speak. So it's like huge growth across the Octopost organization at the moment.
Interesting though, right? Where the growth is in business today is the technology companies. We've experienced the same thing. We're growing and doing really well, but it's the technology that's driving that success.
Yep. Yeah. And with that, it's like we're actually not sitting on our laurels from a technology perspective either, right? It's like the platform itself is forever changing. Yeah, we've Liad, our head of product management, and the development team, continuously invest in the ongoing platform. So some great things that have come out this year. It's just recently today, we've released some new calendar functionality. We've got Octopus social listening now as a platform. The AI auto message generator, some great things going on in the Octopus platform over the last 9 to 12 months.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to move forward with too much more with the product staying the same for too long either. So I think
it's evolve or die, right? It's that really is the mantra.
For sure. I want to add on top of that, because I think now the relationships that we've built with our customers, again, just being it's always been customers first, right? That's always been the mantra and the idea. But I think this year it's just accelerated a little bit and it's taken a bit further. And I think because of the relationships that we've built with our customers this past year, the feedback that we've gotten from them has really transformed our product. I mean, just speaking on this new release yesterday from the calendar, it was 90% customer feedback that was, pushed into this one release. And I think that that's also incredible. I think it speaks wonders to, the humanity and the being able to just be more kind and understanding and open and conversational. And, I think that these are great outcomes that come out of that.
Yeah, right. We found the same thing. I think we have just more of an intimate relationship with our customer.
Yeah.
Again, that concept of we're all in this together. We're here to help each other.
Yeah.
It goes beyond business. It goes just to making everyone successful. You want to see everybody succeed.
Exactly. That's exactly it.
Everyone. So it is one of the positive things that's come out of 2020.
For sure. On to the other positive things. What are your biggest success stories? I love a good segue. I really do. So that was spot on. What would you say is your biggest success story of 2020?
From my perspective, definitely
that's going to Shannon.
Yeah, from my perspective, it was definitely the launch of the rebrand. We were in the middle of launching a rebrand. It was supposed to go live right around March 6th. A little bit after that. And like I said, we had to put on the brakes and hold back, kind of recollect ourselves and say, what do we do? We have this massive, rebrand going out. From a company standpoint, OSG's been undergoing this major transformation. We were so excited to put this brand out, but had to take a step back and, like I say, focus a little bit on our employees and our customers.
Yeah.
And then my team had to kind of figure out how do we do a rebrand without a war room? How do we gather all of our collateral and everything we've been working on? And I have to say, it took us a couple days to figure out how to work together. And we picked kind of right up where we left off, figured out our technology and launched right on time of our new timeline. And it was really successful. And we launched it in conjunction with a new webinar series, and that was kind of part of the whole digital transformation that was aligned with with COVID. And it was a satisfying thing to launch in the middle of a pandemic.
And a nice thing to cross off the list.
Yeah, seeing the marketing team pull together and everybody else in the company get behind the brand and being supportive of the efforts and launching a new direction for our company in the middle of everything going on it was fun and it was exciting, and it gave us a positive momentum to build upon.
Good. No, that is, I think it's an amazing feat. I think being able to accomplish anything big this year is an amazing feat.
We're talking about putting shoes on.
Right? It's just from shoes to rebrand.
Hey, we talk about it all here, right, Shani? That's what you're saying.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. We'll cover A to Z, everything. Colin, what about you? Do you have any success? I know you have success stories. Let's
success stories. Oh, we got loads of success stories. I mean, I think my biggest success story is surviving 9 months at Octopost, right? Or is it the other way around? Yeah, I mean, it's for me, 2020 was an interesting year, right? It's as I said, I took this new role at Octopost in March, just as this thing hit. It was a little bit like my coming home story, in so much as I'd actually been an Octopost customer twice in the last 6 years. Anyone that knows me knows that story.
Anyone that's been on these webinars before knows that story.
In actual fact, Shannon probably knows it better than most, because one of her bosses was actually my former boss. Ken Powell's got a lot.
Come full circle this year.
Ken Powell's got a lot to answer for, right? But I mean, it's like that's a big personal success for me, right? It's like Shani is to come and help lead the organization through some of the changes that we've gone through across 2020, and it's been a true privilege and honor to do that, right? It's like from our customers, the likes of Shannon and the good folks over at OSG, to many others, and some I can say the names of, and some I can't, so I won't say any just in case I upset someone by
right,
it.
We don't know. It's great.
Right. You got it right. So I mean, they're some of our my personal successes, right? It's like as an organization, we've gone through phenomenal growth this year, and we're expecting to do similar, if not larger growth as we go into 2021 and beyond, right? So it really is the time for social, and what you've seen with the modifications and enhancements to the platform. It's like I'm sure it's like Liad and the team have got some magic up their sleeves for 2021.
I have no doubt. They usually do.
They normally do, that tricky little lot.
Well, I want to share my success story of 2020 also. So working always, in the partner space and in the customer facing space, I think for myself, being able to take on different challenges like webinars, for instance, it's been quite the experience. And I don't know anywhere else that I would really have the opportunity to grow and be able to experience these type of things. So again, I think 2020 made everyone a little more resilient and a little bit more resourceful. And, I didn't know I had it in me until I had to step it up and prove it and just do it. And maybe the beginning was a little rocky, and maybe even now's a little rocky, who knows, but it's a great time. And I think it's a great learning experience. And I know I'm not the only one in this position that, has had to take on responsibilities outside of my day-to-day role. And I think that experience alone, it sets the tone, and it sets the path for the future for 2021 for Octopost and then beyond. So I think, there's definitely a lot of success stories to come out of 2020 if you dig around and if you look for them a little deeper. And I think, again, just kind of this sense of just being resourceful and making yourself available and, wanting to help. I wanted to help, so I stepped it up and I helped. And I think again,
also though, looking where you wouldn't even expect it, right? It's like there are some deals that or some countries that we're now involved in that at the start of 2020, if you'd have asked the executive team, we're going to have opportunities, come out in Indonesia, for example, right? So everyone would have looked at you as if you were crazy, right? But guess what? Shanice has a new partner over in Indonesia, so it's like
the help of the new managing director in EMEA. You see, it's all been
strange things happen, right? Strange things happen, but we've the countries that we've grown into, maybe a different set. We've expanded maybe quicker than we thought we were going to expand in some territories this year.
Because these, their requirements have also changed. Again, we're all literally experiencing the same things. If they're not, if they're not keeping up to speed and their competitors are, they're going to fall behind. And they, if social wasn't a top priority or whatever it might have been wasn't a top priority, it's now suddenly a top priority. And again, I think just it's been on one hand, a crappy year, pardon my French, but I think if you dig deep, everyone will be able to find their successes and their positive outtakes on what was 2020. And to wrap this up, what can we look forward to in 2021? And I wanted to add to this, but I didn't. Are there any, we don't know.
Are you going off script? Come back.
I am.
Right?
I'm improv now. It's the end. It's the last one. Why not? But obviously we don't know what 2021 holds. We don't know when things are going back to what they previously were, but are there certain things, certain tools, certain, I don't know, whatever it might be that were implemented in 2020 that for sure are going to carry on into 2021, that have proven successful and you kind of can't live without right now? That was a run-on sentence.
Cannot live without Octopus. We implemented that in 2020 and we cannot live without it now. Which is true. It really has become, an integral part of how we're doing business and communicating and getting information out to our customers. It's great because our sales team gets to what's relevant to them and their customers. It honestly has transformed the way that we reach out to people. So it's I did not mean to put that plug in there.
No, but I want to know.
It's true.
Before 2020, I'm sure you guys were on social. I'm sure you had some sort of a social presence, but was it as predominant and was it as important as it was to you guys in 2020?
Absolutely not. Like I say, which is one of the reasons we really did focus on bringing new technologies. And new things to our social outreach. It was something we always believed in and took a part of, but as we had this dramatic shift, with everybody being online and so forth, it was increasingly important to figure out how to take advantage of our social presence and really build it and find ways to use it for just putting content out, but to really use our social presence as more of a way to connect. And establish a back and forth relationship with our customers and contacts, and that was really one of the biggest changes I think that we hit. It was obviously something that was always nice to have and something we wanted to do, but using social as a way to have dialogue was really a big shift for us, and that it's only going to go forward and build upon in 2021 and beyond. I think that we kind of set the stage for that and there's no going back from it. And just like we're a little concerned about putting shoes back on, I think that there's things that we're going to want to keep and that happen in 2020 and build upon.
Colin, the shoes resonated. I hate to say.
I'm not a shoes kind of guy. Sorry.
Everyone's just going to be barefoot in the offices once we go back, or they're going to have office slippers. They're going to
office slippers. You got it. That is the next big business. Office
next
slippers.
Swag. Everyone's swag is going to be office slippers next year.
to be seen on a trade show floor somewhere, right?
Yeah, definitely. If you guys see my next business venture, I don't want to hear it. That's mine, trademark. Colin, what about you? What do you think we can look forward to in 2021?
Hopefully not shoes, but no, I mean, just to pick up on what Shannon said, right? It's like, I think, we talked about 2020 really becoming the year of social selling. Yeah, I think that, 2021, it's no longer called social selling, it's just called selling, because it's an integral part of the modern day sales engine, right? So, I don't think that you can sell in certain industries, certainly in the B2B space, unless you have social as part of that sales mix. And I think that is something that really picked up a pace in 2020 and is here to stay for the good going forward. And don't throw the Jen Gutman question in there of, is social evil? It's like, which is one of the questions that she threw at me the other day.
She did.
Shocking.
Well, is it?
That was a zinger.
Well, now you know how to answer it.
How would you have answered? How would you have answered that one, Shannon?
I guess I would have said that it depends upon what context it's used, and if you take good care.
That was very similar to the response I gave. Yeah, we all have a responsibility and a duty, right? It's
That's right.
So as good corporate citizens as long as we use it responsibly, right? So there goes
Absolutely.
there goes our GDPR and data privacy requirements, right? Took us
I
totally
think
off
just like
subject
with
there,
any
Shani. Sorry.
channel, if it's used responsibly, if it's used the right way, it can be evil. No, I'm kidding. So that was great. I really loved that conversation. I think it just brought everything that everyone was thinking and doing and wondering about together. And I think, what the two of you had shared was just, again, I think it just resonated with the audience and with anybody that's going to be listening to this. It's what everyone thought. And I think a little reassurance also goes a long way. And I think just being able to, again, kind of seek out the positives out of what wasn't such a positive year if you're just looking at it on the surface. So I have a couple of questions that came in. The first one is, this is going to be pretty specific for Shannon. Did you find more challenges in rebranding during COVID than you might have previously?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, we were focused on our messaging, right? So we had this big brand rollout, and it was all about OSG and how great we were as this new company, and we were all into that. But all of a sudden, you're in the middle of this pandemic, and you really need to temper your message, right? Like, we rolled this out in July, and people are going through difficult challenges, and work is challenging, and people are getting laid off across the globe, and so yeah, it added, besides just the fact that we weren't all together and kind of like I said, in a war room and able to kind of seamlessly do what we needed to do, there was also a level of awareness that we needed to maintain as we rolled the rebrand out, and wanted to showcase that our business at OSG was in the right spot, that we were going in the right place. We've undergone a major transformation in the last few years, and it was the right time for us to put our message out, but we need to be very careful about that messaging considering the time that we were in. So yeah, definitely a challenge.
I can imagine. And then just the one more question. Maybe I think we answered this, but maybe we can just elaborate on it a little bit more. It was sent a bit earlier on. How were you able to compensate for the lack of in-person meetings and conferences and trade shows? I know that social did take precedence for both of us. We spoke about that in terms of advocacy and just being present there. Were there any other components that you guys, the two of you, can attribute to the success of not being in person anymore?
Yeah, look, do you know what, Shani? Everyone loves in person, right? It's so much easier to connect with the individual, right? It's like yes, the likes of Zoom and other technology platforms similar to that, it's like help that in a virtual world, but there's still nothing like being able to,
nothing like a handshake.
Well, I don't know if we can maybe we can elbow bump or fist bump or whatever we're allowed to do these days, but that's one thing that I can't wait to come back, right? Is the actual person to person interaction. It's why I've still been going into the office even though I'm the only one going in, right? It's like just on the hope of the off chance that I might bump into someone along the way.
I'm a stickler for video conferencing. I am, and I know a lot of people have video conferencing fatigue and get worn out. And I know, like, with the marketing team, I give a lot of leeway. There's definitely times where people are like, I don't want to be on Zoom, and I respect that. We all this time we've had up days and down days. But I do think the one saving grace is that we have the technology in place where we can see each other and interact. And especially as I've had interviews, where I'm interviewing new people to join my team. You can't do that on a phone,
Right.
Yep.
Make sure that you can see people. And I think for me that's kind of been the best replacement is taking the time to say, hey, can we not just have a phone call? Can we take some time to get on Zoom? I know, I don't care if you've done your hair or whatever, but it's just nice to see each other and interact. And it does bring that element of connection to a conversation that you might not have over the phone, but it is challenging, and I'm ready for some face-to-face too.
Definitely. I've always sat in Israel, but I've always worked with, my partners and my customers have always been abroad. So for me, it didn't feel, in the beginning, especially, I didn't feel such a difference. I'm also in Israel and my whole family is in New Jersey. So for the past 10 years, it's been Skype and FaceTime and, WhatsApp video. So I didn't quite feel such an impact in the lack of face-to-face until I went to the office for the first time. We, had our restrictions loosened up and, things were going well in Israel. So we had some criteria where we can have alternate days in the office. And suddenly I'm there and I didn't get any work done because I was just babbling on and on and on. And I was like, suddenly it's not just my dogs that I'm talking to and my husband who is, playing his Xbox and people are communicating back to me. And that's when I realized, I was like, oh, this is lacking. The office space, the water cooler talks. I never had water cooler talks. And suddenly, I wanted to stand by a water cooler and chat with everyone all day. But yeah, luckily the technology was there and really ready to go. I think technology's time to shine was 2020. And yeah, it did allow for some sort, I feel like we're sitting in a room together, the three of us. It's sunny by you, it's nighttime by me, it's, dusk or
snowing
whatever
by me.
it is. Exactly. And I'm sitting here in 70-degree weather in a sweater. It's normal, it's fine, but it feels like we're together. And I think, thank God for technology.
It was interesting to see what there was a run on though, right, Shani? In so much as, I don't know about you guys, but in the UK you couldn't get a webcam for Love Nor Money for about 3 or 4 months, right?
Yeah.
Office furniture. It's like if you wanted a decent office chair, it's like again, you couldn't get one for Love Nor Money. Now it's all Xbox and PlayStation that you can't get for Love Nor Money, but go back 3 or 6 months and it was office.
Yeah, it started with toilet paper and then it was office supplies and now it's everyone's settled in, so it's just the gaming.
Video games.
Now it's video games.
We're like, okay, we're here for a while. We might as well hunker down. Good. So before we wrap up, anything else on your end? Anything that we didn't cover that you might want to share? I know we covered a lot, so no pressure, but I don't want to cut you off.
No, I just think we need to be prepared for more of the unexpected. I think
definitely
anything, that's what it taught us. And I think that in many ways we've prepared ourselves for that. So I'm looking forward to closing out 2020.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we now have the playbook for the unexpected, right? And the playbook is there is no playbook.
Right.
But guess what? Yeah, not everything's going to drop off the face of the earth, right?
That's also true. And the show must go on.
You've got it.
All right. Thank you so much, Shannon and Colin. This was, for me, a really great way to wrap up 2020. I want to thank, just again, the audience for being on this ride with us. Again, 11 episodes. Hearing me talk and Colin, and it's been wonderful. It's been a really great ride. I wish everybody a really happy and, more importantly, healthy holiday season and new year. And I look forward to reconvening in 2021. Again, this series is going to continue, so would love to hear also from the audience if there's anything on your minds that you want us to cover. Emails are here. Please reach out. And thank you again, Shannon and Colin. This was wonderful. Thanks so much
for having us.
Of
Thanks,
course.
Shannon.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your snow day. Remember when snow days were a thing too?
Yeah.
When you would have to work from home because you couldn't go to the office, and now
here I am.
Here you are. All right. Well, thank you both so much. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.